A pleasant evening to all of you. I'm very happy that I could share some thoughts about Vesak ceremony. In particular, how can we prepare ourselves for Vesak ceremony in terms of organizing our thoughts, actions, and our speech. Now, as all of you know, that Vesak day will be on May 5th. It's going to be next Friday. Yeah, not this Friday, next Friday. And if you look at the word Vesak, it's mostly a singular word. And if you see the Pali word, you can see it is uh, Visakha, actually. It's not Visakha, it's going to be what do you call Vesakha. Actually, I wanted to bring up the word called Visakha. Some people might misunderstand Visakha to be what do you call Vesakha. Visakha was a lady. Actually, she was the chief benefactress, the donor to the Buddha, who actually constructed a temple called Migara Madhupasana. In other words, uh, what do you call you know. Purvarama, I would say, in the eastern Savatthi. So Visakha is not the Pali word for Vesak. Pali word for Vesak is Vesakha. Now, Vesakha is a word that we use in Pali to understand the month between April to May. So the Pali word Vesak, sorry, the singular word Vesak comes from Pali Vesaka, or you might say Vesak, Vesak, Vesak. Vesak is a singular word. So the Pali word Vesaka is the original, what you call the use that we derive Vesak from. So Vesaka means the name for month of May. Okay, and the Sanskrit equivalent is going to be Vaishakha. And although Sri Lankan Buddhists celebrate this day on uh, May 5th, it's going to be Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. Other Buddhists, I would say Mahayana Buddhists, may celebrate this day on different other timelines. Actually, they have 3 days for three events now. As Theravada, Sri Lankan Theravada Buddhists, we believe that three events are normally taken on one particular day, uh, full moon day of May, which we call as Vesako, Vesaka, Vaishaka. But for Mahayana Buddhists, they take the three events uh, uh, with three dates. One is in December, I can't exactly remember. One is in another month, the other one is another one. So the the birth of the Prince Siddhartha, and the enlightenment or awakening of ascetic Siddhartha, and the passing away of the Shakyamuni Buddha. Now, with so much motivations, inspirations, or I would say um, preparations, what are we trying to do actually on this day? So this is kind of a question. Now, in our childhood time, before I became a monk, it's almost like 20, 27 years ago, Vesak was a day that usually takes us to think about some of the uh, what we call generous events, like we call it dansale. People go and they enjoy food, uh, free coffee, free ice cream, so on and so forth, from the people who are actually donating on the street, which is a very surprising thing to many non-Sri Lankans, especially. Uh, you get free food on this day. Well, this is one very remarkable thing that normally goes around in our mind when I was a child. And I also remember that what you call the Bhakti Gita, the Buddhist carols, to praise about the Buddha, his time, what he has done, and all that, are also kind of like very promoting events for Vesak. And quite a number of people, especially adults, usually join Sila retreats in temples on this day, uh, which is not a surprise because most of the devotees in Sri Lanka and elsewhere, even expatriates, even most of you, go to temple on full moon days. But I think the difference between the number of people who go to temple to take precepts between a Vesak or with any other date is that the number is high. A lot of people, they even think that I should even uh, go and take precepts at least on this day, even actually taking time off from my job or something. Well, these are the kind of the things that I have personally noticed, and probably you have must have noticed too. But we have come to a digital era now, 2023. We have a belief like, should we go to temple or not for this day? Yes, I mean, if you could, uh, if you are mobile, if you could go, if you have no any problem, sickness, definitely you can go, and you are motivated. You are uh, supposed to do that. But in today's time, people watch stuff online a lot. I mean, you can join if you can go. Uh, but if we look at the kind of the events that what you call Shakyamuni Buddha had, his birth and his enlightenment and his passing away. And somebody might say that how come we take his passing away as a blessing, as a great event, right? uh, well, I mean, he did not. We don't call that he died. He died actually. We say that he attained paranibbana. Nibbana and paranibbana. Enlightenment is nibbana, paranibbana, samasambuddhata, which is a part of nibbana. I would say Nibbana, but he attained Nibbana with full enlightenment. And Paranibbana means that this is the second part of his Nibbana, because Nibbana has two parts. One is Sopadisa Nibbana, the other one is the Nirupadisa Nibbana. Sopadisa Nibbana means that someone attains Nibbana with the body. Uh, so that person is alive. And Nirupadisa Nibbana means, Nirupadisa Upadi means the body, and that person is gonna pass away. The Arahant is gonna pass away. In this case, the Buddha is gonna pass away. So his body is not going to be anymore existing. So that will be the completion of Nibbana. It's pretty interesting. Now, when you are becoming an Arahant while you are alive, you still have to go through the difficulties, sicknesses, probably uh, criticism, blames, so on and so forth, like what Shakyamuni Buddha had gone through. But when you passed away one day, your karmic life is all already ended at the time you attain Nibbana. At the same time, you are done with everything. So I think that is why we take Parinibbana as a great event. Otherwise, we don't call someone's passing away as a great event. There's no logic to understand that. So, the birth of Prince Siddhartha and the enlightenment of or awakening of ascetic Siddhartha and the passing away of Shakyamuni Buddha is so. On the other hand, I wanted to add a couple of things, especially the guidance part for this, some of the thoughts. So I would think that uh, you need to think about two main events in terms of the Vesak ceremony. One is the story of the Vakkali, the monk Vakkali, and the other story is the story of monk Dhammara. Now, Vakkali was a very famous, story. He was a monk. He became a monk just to see the Buddha. So one day the Buddha uh, saw that he was actually gazing at him, and then he asked, "What are you doing over here?" And he said that I became a monk totally or entirely to see you. That is only my expectation. Then the Buddha said, "You can't see me in your naked eyes, with your those eyes. You have to learn and understand the cause and effect theory, Paticca Samuppada, the 12 links of the causality. Then only you understand the Dhamma. Once you understand the cause and effect, this structure, then only you understand the Dhamma. When you understand the Dhamma, you will see. And the Buddha criticized that just looking at me will will make you calm, but consistent practice of looking at me will not give you the benefits of what I taught for the beings. So this story is interesting because we normally would like to keep a Buddha statue, which is a good thing and which keeps us calm. But with this story, we get to understand that there is a bigger purpose behind, you know, looking at the Buddha. Actually, we had to look at the Buddha from an angle um, that what he wanted actually. So this is very interesting. So that story should be, paid more attention by all of you. Second story is the monk Dhammarama, which happened, supposed to happen by the time, sorry, during the time of Buddha's Parinibbana, when the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, announced that he would pass away in 3 months. Then all the unenlightened monks started weeping over this sad news that he's gonna actually pass away in 3 more months from today. But there was one monk who did not want to consider, I mean, according to those monks. So they reported to the Buddha, informed the Buddha in a way that he was not concerned about what he called your passing away. So the Buddha knew what was going on, but he wanted him to, Monk Dhammarama, to come over and then to explain what was his intentions were like. So he asked other monks to invite Monk Dhammarama uh, to his front. And when Monk Dhammarama came, the Buddha asked, "Can you give an explanation of what these monks are saying about you?" He said, Bhante, now I know that you already declared that you would pass away in 3 months. So I was thinking what kind of a respect that I could do for you. I thought that it is only by uh, attaining at least Sotapanna, probably definitely at that time, attaining Nibbana would be the best uh, way to respect you. That means to follow what he told and then finally to attain Nibbana, crossing the samsara. The greatest respect that I can do before you pass away. And the Buddha said, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then the Buddha added on to his behavior, saying that people who merely respect me by offering flowers, joss sticks, and so on and so forth, are not really respecting me. Don't take it wrong. Okay? We still need to respect the Buddha with things like flowers, candles, and so on and so forth. But if it is the only thing that we do for the Buddha as a respect, that is concerning. Like I myself do the same thing, and you yourself do the same thing. While you offering some water, medicinal drinks, tea, coffee, probably some food. But is this only my practice to respect the Buddha? Buddha said, that is not enough. So he's saying the highest practice someone can do to me is that the application and pretty much the following of what I said, and then directly tapping on to the path which I showed to all of you. That is the best, highest way to practice or respect me as the follower. So he appreciated Monk Dhammarama in so high esteem at that point. I think these two stories tell us something different that we can think about the Vesak ceremony. Like, that we all think about how are we going to celebrate the Vesak ceremony. I mean, you still go to temple, it's okay. You still go to do things like generosity stuff, but take a moment of time to think about, inspire yourself, like a self inspiration. Am I covering this whole respect? This whole respect includes a practice, probably trying to have a inspiration, self inspiration, that I'm going to think about that. I'm not only doing this stuff, I'm trying to deepen my practice. I'm trying to sort of like strengthen my practice, maintain my practice consistently, not just today, right? Not just tomorrow, and I'm going to do it today, tomorrow, day after. It's going to be consistent, and I have a clear path. I have a clear future to do such. I think if you can come to that level of your mindset, uh, you're going to definitely respect as the Shakyamuni Buddha respected. So keep these two stories in your mind, monk Vakali and monk Dhammaram. They both attain Nibbana actually. I'm not saying that if you cannot attain Nibbana, your respect is not going to actually work. At least you know what to do, what you're supposed to do. And when we talk about Nibbana, don't get me wrong, because don't get the word wrong too. Uh, for some people, it might be a very hard practice. Buddha never said something very hard. Buddha said, "This is possible." You have to find your own you have to find your own way to attain nibbana, because everyone is different. Everyone's lifestyle is different. Everyone's background is different. So normally when I teach, I'm always telling people that don't think that there's only one way, but idea might be the same, thought might be the same, but you are trying to attain there. You are trying to approach there in your own lifestyles, right? So be smart, be wise, and then uh, plan ahead your spiritual journey. Okay, any questions that I got today? Not so far. So I wish you a very happy Vesak period, and I hope that you are respecting the Buddha in the highest respect. Thank you. Have a good day, especially good night to all of those people who are watching here, and good morning to other folks.